Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Thursday morning to you all. Hope you guys are feeling awesome out there this morning, having a great start to your day. I got you an update on what is likely going to occur for most of the country weather-wise for today. So if you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. It goes a long way in just helping out with the algorithm. If anybody is wondering, just I guess the more likes a video gets, the more that it's kind of sit a little bit higher up in the search method in the search algorithm on YouTube. So that definitely goes a long way when y'all hit that like button for me. That's why I always ask for it every morning. But anyways, if you guys got anything that I can pray about, pray over, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. So not expecting a super active day again. Seems like I've said that over and over again the last few days, but it's really cool to check this out on water vapor loop. You got an upper trough that's kind of became stationary over this area right here. You can actually see this kind of this area of dry air. The darker colors you always see on these water vapor loops are indicating more dry air. The more lighter colors or whiter colors, that is more moist air. So you still got the more moist atmosphere, moist air mass along the southern states and the eastern U.S. But you have this upper trough that's actually bringing this little pocket, if you will, of drier air. So you're actually waking up in portions of the country in very nice conditions. But really what we focus in on, and this is a pretty active pattern as far as what's going on in the atmosphere, is this big time upper trough starting to move into areas of the Great Lakes region. This will really enforce dry air, really starting as early as later this evening across areas of the Northeast. Dry air will punch in. It's not going to be a substantial punch of dry air, but you're going to feel a difference out there if you compare what you're feeling right now compared to this evening across this area of the country. So this will continue to dive across the eastern U.S., even affect areas to the south. So we'll watch that. Storm Prediction Center, quiet. Not a whole lot going on. In fact, there's not really even a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe storms unless you're in this area of Idaho, Oregon, and Washington states. But just quiet weather. And, there's going to be thunderstorms, especially across the southeast ahead of this pattern change. But in general, you look at the excessive rainfall outlook, it's pretty quiet also. There's not a whole lot going on. So this honestly is probably the most quiet day and really the last several weeks, I would say, as far as you not having flooding, huge risk of severe storms, especially across the central and eastern U.S. I mean, look here. I think this is the first time, maybe since the flooding event happened, and before that we do not have at least a marginal risk of flooding in Kentucky. So just tells us there's really no storms expected in this area today. Watches and warnings, I mean, even more quiet. I mean, you got some fog advisories, some air quality alerts, a few heat advisories up here in the north central U.S. and the northern plains. But other than that, the entire eastern U.S., nothing. Really, really hardly nothing. So we'll break down each individual region as we always do, dealing with some coastal rains down here at the Gulf Coast this morning along the south, same areas that's been seeing it over the last few weeks, really. Southeast Louisiana, southern Mississippi, the Panhandle, southern areas of Alabama. Going through the day, I honestly think we'll be below average temperature-wise across the southeast even today, but it's not going to be a fall air mass. One of the things that trick people up around this time of the year, especially when we get a little bit later in August and September, is they think that when they see below average temperatures in September or late August, they immediately think it's going to feel like fall outside. Remember, at this time of the year, average temperatures are for, I would say, most of everybody in the southeast. Obviously, it lowers a little bit the further north you get. But I would say North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and areas just of the southeast in general, your average temperatures are still probably running 85, 86 to as high as 90 degrees. So if you get a day and it's only, I don't know, like 84, 86 degrees, that is considered below average depending on what your average high is for that specific day climate-wise. So, 86 degrees to me doesn't, scream fall weather. Plus, it doesn't factor in the air mass. Like, is it a humid 85, 86 degrees? Probably. And that'll be like how it will be today. Below average temperatures across a lot of the southeast, but it will be due to cloud cover, some showery activity ahead of this trough moving in. And it'll feel humid, but the actual air temperatures just won't be way up into the 90s for a lot of folks. But anyways, just trying to give y'all a FYI on that kind of information because that confuses people. It's like when I show you guys on social media these below average temperatures predicted, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have some huge fall air mass. Now, for certain areas, especially Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, a little bit of North Carolina, Tennessee, points north, this weekend will certainly feel a little hint of fall in the air. You'll definitely feel a substantial difference. And even areas further south will feel a difference. But anyways, getting off that, some storm activity certainly possible from areas of Tennessee to Virginia, points south. We'll watch for a strong storm or two. These storms will pop up, kind of meander. Just depends on the directional flow, which is kind of everywhere. It was wild. We had an area of storms that kind of came out the southwest here in South Carolina last night and created a lot of ruckus overnight. But anyways, just overall chances of showers and storms anywhere from Texas all the way up to Virginia today in this region. So anybody could see it. Certain areas could see maybe a flooding risk, especially right in this area. Temperatures today about exit out my panel there. Like I said, here we go. Just 80s, maybe even just some 70s. But not very hot today. Now, areas along far eastern Carolinas and down here in Florida, pretty hot, but it's going to warm up substantially. But, for example, here in central South Carolina, waking up to some cloud cover, some few showers. So how much cloud cover does your specific area have today just depends on your temperatures. But in general, we're not expecting widespread 90s today unless you start to get into the central U.S. The Northeast, dealing with some showers along the extreme coastal regions. These will continue to move throughout midday and early afternoon, move off the coast, and then additional showers and storms, very isolated in nature, could form in southern New England this evening, and then maybe a storm or two in southern PA and West Virginia. It's certainly possible today, and then maybe some storms up here in Maine, also New Hampshire, Vermont, but nothing too crazy. Pretty warm still, especially in and around the North New Jersey area, New York City. Southern New England could certainly reach 90 again, the upper 80s. But glory is coming. We got much cooler air about to sink in. Not a massive cold front. It's still mid-August. But cooler air coming in. This cooler air coming out of southeast Canada. So just nice summertime conditions once you get outside the I-95 corridor into the Ohio Valley, interior areas of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. Only 70s and 80s for highs. And here it is. It shows really here what's going on, starting it off around 10 a.m. this morning Eastern time. Here comes that dry air. These are not temperatures. These are dew points. And here comes the dry air funneling in. The entire state of Michigan is feeling awesome. Wisconsin, a dry air mass is moving in. And this continues to move into the Northeast this evening. Most of the state of Pennsylvania by time you get to midnight tonight will, for example, have a great air mass in place and will replace any humidity with dry air. And then we look to the south central U.S. Maybe some good news, maybe some more scattered showers and storms. They will be very pop-up in nature in areas of south central and central areas of Texas. Not so much up here in Dallas, Fort Worth area. Not sure how much range y'all picked up yesterday, but hopefully some folks picked up some stuff yesterday that didn't get it the day before. But maybe some isolated downpours are certainly possible in Texas today. And then, we'll have it much more common in Mississippi and Louisiana later. But the further north you go, no real rain expected in this part of the central U.S. today. Temperatures pretty hot, but nothing compared to what we've seen. But still pretty uncomfortable out here, unfortunately. But nothing too bad. No heat advisories and nothing that y'all can't handle compared to what y'all have seen. I'm sure y'all have just been used to 100-degree readings consistently. But good news is it looks like, in the long range, that this ridge is going to get beat down somewhat. North central U.S., very quiet. Nothing. Some showers could fly across the boundary of this ridge and troughing swinging across the Great Lakes region. So just some clouds and some showers could ride through here in areas of the eastern Dakotas and areas of Minnesota into Iowa a little bit later today, but no real storm action. You can see it really well what's going on here. Back here into the southwest, into South Dakota, Nebraska points west under the influence of this ridge, so you're just baking with above average temperatures. But the further you get northeast, the further you work in the troughing, and there's a boundary set up here between two different air masses, basically, where you got a dry, more pleasant air mass right here with around average to maybe slightly below average temperatures. And then you got a hot air mass to the southwest, but nice conditions in this area today. very pleasant late summer conditions for sure. But that's all I got, guys. Not sure if I'm going to get a video in tonight. The tropics continue to be quiet, and I pretty much have updated you guys on all the latest information on what's going on with this cool down. But you never know. We might get you an update, but it's still quiet. The tropics are quiet. Everything is just pretty much quiet. So we're just going to enjoy this quiet time and enjoy these cold fronts that we're getting in August, because this is not common at all. I wouldn't call it super rare or anything like that, but it's certainly uncommon. So God bless all y'all. Y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.